A story that we broke yesterday at 5. Questions remain after the Coeur d'Alene City Prosecutor's Office decided not to charge the teenager accused of yelling racial slurs at the University of Utah women's basketball team 2 months ago. That team called police saying someone yelled racial slurs at them while they were in downtown Coeur d'Alene while they were in town for the March Madness tournament. The NCAA moved them from their hotel in Coeur d'Alene to a hotel in Spokane. The team's coach talked about what happened in a press conference back in March, sparking a national conversation.
No one knew how to handle it, and it was really upsetting. And for our players and staff to not feel safe in an NCAA tournament environment, it's messed up.
And just within the last couple of hours, Post-Fall Superintendent Dina Nacarado got back to us saying, quote, "We are disturbed by the news that a Post Falls high school student was involved in the racial slur incident in Coeur d'Alene in March. The district stands firmly against racism and does not condone hateful speech or actions of any kind," unquote. The story remains top of mind for the Coeur d'Alene community, and tonight the mayor is sharing his reaction to the city attorney deciding not to pursue charges. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley joins us live from Coeur d'Alene City Hall with what he had to say. Amanda?
Yeah, Mark, well, this story continues to weigh on the Coeur d'Alene community, and tonight city leaders say they are disappointed that the suspect won't face any legal accountability for his alleged actions. Now, Mayor Jim Hammond told me over the phone today he's not second-guessing the city prosecutor, but he had hoped the suspect would at least faced some level of accountability. Hammond says this alleged racial incident continues to hurt the community and its local businesses. He says he's received letters from people who have said they've changed their mind about visiting Coeur d'Alene this summer.
I had hoped that something could be done to hold them accountable, and it may have been funny to them, but it wasn't funny to the community, and it was harmful in many different ways.
City Council member Christy Wood says she too is disappointed there won't be any charges filed against the suspect, but she respects the review of the incident by the prosecutor. Now, Wood is a retired sergeant with the Coeur d'Alene Police Department. She is currently the vice president of the Kootenai County Task Force on Human Relations after previously serving as president for 16 years. Now, based on her law enforcement experience, Wood says this investigation had its challenges.
In this case, they really had difficulty even locating witnesses, and they finally were able to do that. And then they had hours and hours of video surveillance to comb through and audio. And so it's just very labor intensive. And then, of course, the chief sent them to Utah, the detectives, to actually interview some of the victims and witnesses.
Now, Council member Wood told me she does expect some public comment to come up on this tonight at tonight's council meeting. She says to begin healing and moving forward, her message to the community is to focus on the message of inclusion, dignity, and respect for all. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you very much. In our effort to bring you more to every story, we reached out to a longtime criminal defense attorney for his take on the decision not to prosecute this case. Bevan Maxey has been practicing law in Spokane for 40 years, and he admits these types of First Amendment cases can certainly be tricky. We want to make it clear Maxey is not involved with this case. He's simply giving us his opinion based on his experience as an attorney. He said when a prosecutor is deciding whether to file charges, they are considering a number of factors to determine if the speech rises to a level of a crime. That includes the intent behind what was said. Was it a threat or harassment? Was the vulgar, profane language used in a loud and boisterous manner in the presence of a child, which, if so, he points out, would be a misdemeanor? While we do have strong protections under the First Amendment, there are instances where what you say and how you say it does rise to the level of a crime.
But I think that the prosecutor looked to see if he could consider this a true threat. Ultimately, he determined that it wasn't. He talked about intent, which again can be one of the criteria that separate protected speech from unprotected speech. They came to the conclusion they thought this person was trying to be funny. I didn't research the case myself, but I think that there was probably more to it than that as far as what his real intent was to create with these young ladies.
Again, Maxey pointed out he is not trying to second guess the prosecutor or Monday morning quarterback this case. He's just giving us his analysis based on his experience. And given that, he adds this.
You know, I think that you put those two things together, the sexual component of it with the racial component of it. I certainly think that it would have been well within his rights to try to prosecute this case. But having considered all the facts in his judgment, he determined he wasn't going to do that.
Another point that Maxey made tonight about a prosecutor's decision to pursue charges, do they think they can prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt? It is unclear if or how that factored into this decision. All right, let's switch gears and take a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy DeGue. Jeremy, fire up the DeLorean, get your leg warmers. We're heading back to the 80s, my friend.
Just in time for the weekend. I thought it would never happen, but here we are. Wow. Dreams do come true.
Yes, they do. Please don't wear leg warmers.
If anyone has a DeLorean who's watching, can I please borrow it for, it's for the news. I've always wanted to drive a DeLorean. 59 degrees right now. We did make it into the low 60s a bit earlier, but yeah, 60s. I owned a 1975 Porsche, but not the 60s. All right, there we go. We got a few showers up in the mountains of Idaho. It's all the way up there. It's moved out of Coeur d'Alene already, so Mandaroli already on the dry side of things. You move up into the mountains. It's still coming down a little bit, harder on the tops of the mountains than down low. Silver Valley's getting a little bit of that moisture. You slide down to the south, a little bit of it. We knew this would stay just out to the east of Moscow. You might catch a stray sprinkle, but that's about it. Things wind down overnight, and tomorrow we wake up to a little bit of moisture along the crest of both Thompson Pass and Lookout Pass. That moves out, and it's all about the sunshine from there. Seriously. 65 tomorrow, 76 on Thursday, and that DeLorean, well, that arrives on Friday.